Welcome to the Xpress-pay Knowledge Center. My name is Melissa Rogozinski, and I am the Education and Training Expert at Systems East. I'm also the host of our video and podcast series. Today we have Thomas Buttino, Director of Marketing at Systems East, with us. Thomas will be discussing several ideas with us about what consumers really want in an e-payment offering. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good. How's it going, Melissa?
Great. Very excited to have you here with us, and it's your first show with us. You wrote a great article on what consumers really want from e-payment offerings. So let's dive into that. You discussed the obvious impact of technology on consumers' desire for convenience, value, and rewards. Would you please elaborate on those three things for our audience?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Really, right now we're living in the age of the smartphone. You know, as PCs revolutionized our lives many years ago, the smartphone is just doing the same, but much faster. So people, because they have everything at their fingertips now, are demanding convenience from being able to access everything through their smartphone. And that includes the delivering value. So whether it's a fintech company offering new services to move money faster, or it's rewards programs that they're able to access by scanning QR codes and all those sorts, consumers are really driving the push for more and better technology, and it's really up to us to deliver on those.
You also brought up a couple of really great apps that a lot of the banks are using now, Zelle and Venmo. And I know that I have personal experience with that. I'll mention in a minute. But talk to our audience about why those technologies are so appealing, and processing rates for these technologies have grown exponentially recently. Right.
So with Zelle and Venmo, they're really pushing the boundaries as far as eliminating almost all the friction to sending money or paying for things. And it's a really great tool. We're looking at leveraging it in our own company soon. But the ability to, well, let's take previous transactions when you used to have to either go to the bank if you didn't have cash in your pocket, or you'd have to write a check to somebody. That's terribly inconvenient for everybody. It used to be the best way, but now we've got the ability to log into a simple app, send money with just a phone number or an email address, and they're really just groundbreaking solutions as far as eliminating friction. So it's a great way to move money now.
I completely agree. I have benefited from Zelle, but I've also been using it to send a little bit of money here and there to a couple friends, but especially to pay my condo rent to my landlord. When she realized I could do that, no one had ever done that with her before. She was super excited. I think I probably got 3 or 4 texts and emails right from her. She was real excited about it, and being able to receive. All I have to do is set up the rent and send it to her with an email or text, and the transaction's done. And we both have an electronic written record of the rent was delivered and it was paid. So I totally agree with that. Now let's talk about Amazon Prime, and let me just let you go with that, because I am so excited about being an Amazon Prime member and all the benefits I get. But this is your interview, so you answer that question. Why do customers like Amazon Prime so much?
Oh, it really just boils down to the immense amount of value that they get from it. You may pay $100 a year, but you're gaining access to a whole network of free movies, free music, free shipping, quote unquote free shipping. And I never like to use the word free, because I think that should be banished from the English language, but that's a personal preference. But the amount of value that you really get from the membership is tremendous. And we know they're using some of this as a loss leader to get more customers in, but they're doing it at an incredible rate, and it's delivering a lot of value for people. And the ability to just go on, because they are the everything store. In the time it takes you to order a cup of coffee at Starbucks, you can be at a stoplight in the middle of traffic and order a pair of shoes and have them on their way to your house even the same day. So the amount of value that they're delivering is pretty incredible. So kudos to them.
I have a friend who often asks people what else can go right. And the day I found out that Amazon Prime, who now owns Whole Foods, would deliver Whole Foods groceries same day, that for me was the day that everything was going right. So I can get my salmon, I can get steak, and then if they don't have it in stock, they'll send you a text immediately, hey, we're going to replace it with this. And again, it was even when something like that happened, when something was replaced, the convenience of what I was getting and the way they delivered it same day within a couple hours, the cold food, the way it's bagged and insulated, I'll take their selection. So Amazon Prime has just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, they really have. They've done a great job. And that's why I think today I just read a headline that they're reaching the $1 trillion market cap valuation. And they got there in record time. Apple, I thought was going to be the first. They may have neared it or topped over for a second, but Amazon, they started selling books just maybe less than 2 decades ago online, and now they're the everything store. It's kind of impressive to see what a true, capitalistic society can do.
Well, let's talk about rewards programs, because rewards programs can be just as appealing and certainly create stickiness with customers. So talk about rewards programs with credit cards and why that works with consumers.
Yeah, I mean, they're driving so much value for the consumer. You're going to buy gas, you're going to buy groceries anyways. So the fact that you can go on and pay with your credit card and get something in return for it that really costs you nothing is just a huge driving factor right now. We're seeing that anybody that implements a rewards or loyalty program is seeing an uptick in sales and business, because people want to come back. They want to see what they're getting back for their money. And there's even some people that I've seen places where they're hoarding their frequent flyer miles. They don't want to use them. They just want to see how many they can accumulate over the lifetime, which is kind of interesting because, if you don't use them, what's the point? But again, people love those little instances or enticements to keep coming back. So the way that the credit card companies in the U.S. versus the U.K. are driving rewards and loyalty is pretty impressive. Of course, there's some limitations in the European Union that limit rewards, so they're kind of doing a disservice to their consumers there, I feel. But that's their way.
So Tom, we've talked about what consumers are really interested in from the ePayment solution. We have talked about convenience, like Zelle and Venmo. We've talked about value, and Amazon Prime has value wrapped up in spades. And then the rewards programs, like with airline companies, and being able to accumulate points to travel, whether it's for business or pleasure otherwise. Is there anything else that you would like to offer our audience on what appeals to consumers with an ePayment offering?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for giving your consumers flexibility in their choices and being able to set up their account how they want to. A lot of companies these days, with the turmoil that's in Facebook and things like that, they bury their terms and conditions, they bury their settings and all that, the types of data points that they store on their consumers or customers. And it's really, every time those kind of articles come out, you just hear the tremendous amount of backlash that these companies get. So being able to provide your customers the transparency and the flexibility to set up their accounts and their data points their own way is just tremendously, it's a huge value point. And you should, if you're doing it properly, you should be telling your customers about it almost on a daily basis.
Well, folks, that wraps up our time today. I would like to thank Tom Buttino for joining us and sharing his knowledge about the kinds of payment options and alternatives customers really want. If you have any questions, feedback, or would like to be a guest on our show, please use the contact information provided at the end of this interview. Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you the next time at the Xpress-pay Knowledge Center.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Or if you have an idea you think we should discuss, leave it in a comment below.